Okay, today we are going to discuss a concept of anarchy. Anarchy and power, powerful government. For example, if a question is raised, that is, if there is a powerful government, okay, we normally think anarchy will not be there. And if the government is powerless, then anarchy will increase. So we equate lack of anarchy with government and lack of government with anarchy. But these kind of extensions and thinking can be scrutinized. I felt that these ideas should be scrutinized when I am reading on classical realism by Richard Ned Lebo. Richard Ned Lebo gave an account of classical realism that looks at certain concepts very critically. So one such concept is anarchy and its relationship with power and government. Okay. Now let us look at closely. There is a girl here. There are 3 boys. Symbolized by boys. This is one girl. This is a lonely place. These 3 boys have sexual interest in girl. So these boys' interest is to have sex with a girl. But the girl is not interested. So if the boys want their interests to be realized, it has to be against girl's interest. So boys' interest and girls' interests are not matching. Okay. We are taking a case of 3 boys and 1 girl because very likely these 3 boys have power on their side and girl doesn't have power. So if 3 boys force sex on her, it means clash of interests is settled through power. Okay. You can call interest as self-interest. We are using these words deliberately because we are going to, because classical realism revolves around certain concepts. So boy's self-interest is sex, girl's self-interest is to protect herself. There is a clash of self-interest, and in terms of power, boys have power. So this is a case of imbalanced power and clash of self-interest. And now, what is an anarchy? Anarchy is if these three boys assault and get away, then you can say it is anarchy. So these three boys assault sexually and get away with it. You can call this as an anarchy. So simply put, what is anarchy? Anarchy is realization of self-interest through medium of power. Realizing self-interest through medium of power and power alone. They could assault and get away because some people think there is no punishment system, in the sense no police, no court, no judge, no jail. So because there is nobody to catch or judge and punish, then they got away. So anarchy meant doing things on the basis of power without any fear of punishment. Okay. So because they did not fear any such consequences, they assaulted and left. Okay. Now, one usually thinks, now there is a strong government. Strong government means strong police, strong court, and imprisonment system, because of which these three people will not assault. It means, what is a strong government? That made people behave as per certain norms rather than power. Norms which are agreed upon, whose violation will give rise to punishment. And that is the duty of the government, to ensure that the lawbreakers are punished, because of which law breaking would not take place. So the assumption is that strong government means that it will successfully implement norms and norms implementation means not going by power, not going by power, but by what we think justice, good and bad. So, government is supposed to ensure that the people go by justice, people go by norms, people go by values, and they don't go by power. So that is why we equate anarchy with the absence of norms, justice, and values, and simply ability to do whatever one can do when one has power. So we think that government, using its power, can enforce norms and justice and values and prevent anarchy. So we assume government as the mechanism by which values and norms are implemented, justice delivered. And so we equate powerful government with lack of anarchy, no anarchy. If there is a powerful government, there is no anarchy. So we equate government with ruling out anarchy. Okay. But then there can be a completely different case. Now, girl, 3 boys. These boys think they can assault and get away because they can manipulate police. They can manipulate court because government is on their side. Okay. They think that they can manipulate police, court, and the government because the government is on their side. So what is government doing here? Government is not promoting values. Government, there can be a case of government not promoting values, norms, justice, but government promoting power. For example, if you are on my side, you can do anything. If you are on my side, you can do anything. Law enforcement machinery will not work against you. Law will not work against you. But if you are on opposite side, then we will use law, we will use police, we will use court to hurt you. So what does it mean? The government is undermining the values and norms and justice, which means governmental power is used to bring anarchy, to strengthen anarchy. So what does it mean? Governmental power, if it is used to promote justice, values, and norms, it reduces anarchy. On the other hand, if the governmental power is used to undermine values, to undermine justice, then you are promoting anarchy. So governmental power can be used to promote justice or undermine justice. That is why it is very important not to equate government with society. Government is not society. And if you think of society in terms of values, justice, and norms, okay, government may use its power to strengthen the society, or government may use its power to undermine the society. That is to say, if self-interest is pursued without any regulation, without norms and values and justice, but simply through power, then that is anarchy. So what does that mean? It may mean there can be a cases of strong government. Stalin's Russia, very, very powerful. But then, if you are not on his side, you will be killed. On his side, then you can do anything. So Stalin has shaped the entire society towards power and destruction of values. Same is the case with Hitler's Germany. Which means there can be strong rulers but they undermine the society, undermine the norms, undermine the values. In that sense, they are creating anarchy. Anarchy is nothing but self-interest realization without any restraint, without any values, without any justice, and simply through brute force of power. So power-based self-interest realization as anarchy. Okay. So it is very important to see not just whether the government has the power or not, to what purpose that power is used. If that power is used to strengthen the society's norms, then it is good. But if the power is used to undermine the society, then it is bad. Okay. So when we say you need to have power, we assume that the power is used to promote values and undermine power-based self-interest realization. So such a state is anarchy. That is to say, there can be a strong government and yet anarchy, and in contrast, there can be a weak government, but norms, values are powerful. Powerful society. So there can be norms and values, society good. And so there is no anarchy. So it means that there can be a strong government and anarchy, but weak government, no anarchy. No anarchy. Which means you need not equate government with lack of anarchy. Anarchy is possible with government and order is possible without government. Okay. These issues are important because in a society there can be a government and anarchy at a domestic level. Okay. One important thing that the classical realism does is that it draws similarities between domestic and international. At domestic level, usually anarchy is less, but international level, anarchy is very high. So one reason why international relations are thought to be different is that international relations are characterized by anarchy. whereas domestic relations have government, society, and supposedly do not have anarchy. But classical realists say that there can be anarchy in a domestic context also with government. So it means if government cannot be equated with order, uh, and government can bring disorder, we need to think that the way to bring order need not be through government. Okay, so when you don't equate order with government, it gives rise to some important and interesting possibilities.